chilly one out. Very chilly. Plug you in. Just don't run out of the power. Oh, and you can see the storm clouds rolling in. That ain't good. Oh shit. Just felt like streaming, Cornish. Hey, and how you doing, more? One of those frigid Canadian winter days, eh? Even though it's spring. Technically it's spring. Yeah, I know it snowed all last night. I got a few hours reprieve. I spent a lot of the day out here helping plow my road. I got my panels somewhat cleaned off. Enough. I'm not drawing any power from them anyways because it's just too damn cloudy. But spent most of the day out hanging out with the neighbor. We did a pathway to his place. Got from here to the end of the driveway. Plowed out, shoveled out. Where's my freaking shovel? There's my shovel. Hi, Mark. And yeah, that was the day. I'm really liking the neighbors. Like the neighbor and I think we spent about 4 or 5 hours just shoveling and plowing the driveway because we're gonna get hit by another snowstorm that's gonna last. We're gonna get hit by a few hours of snow tonight, and then tomorrow we're not gonna get any until the evening. It's gonna be sunny out. Then we're in for 3 more days of snow. Oh, it's a chilly one. But I'm warm. I just felt like, I found myself spending more time just hanging out outside, reading books, than I am on the inside. Because, you get the sun out, it's nice and warm. Nate walks. What are my plans? Well, first I've got to wait until all of that disappears because you saw the panels in the other video. Though that's how much snow hit last night. That's not an insignificant amount of snow. And it goes way. I've actually been talking to my neighbor, the gentleman. He's just down at the end of this pathway, and he's going to be helping me do some planting because he's got no room on his plot for a garden. He's got all this wood. So yeah, he's got all this wood that he can't have a garden. So I told him he can take a small spot of land on my area to plant his little garden. And he's got a rototiller, so him and I are going to pick a few spots for for my garden, his garden, everything like that. Cut some of those trees down, the small trees, to get my my planting in. The problem is I've got all these young trees that have to go down. So that'll be goal one, is to get a lot of these young trees down for the garden spot, till the red ground to put my garden in and get a spot for a fire. But goal one is get my garden planted. Well, I've got everything hooked up inside where it's warm. The batteries are fine. From what little sun I got today after I got these panels removed from the snow, after I got them unburied from the snow, they charged it from 70% to 100%, so there is power. I don't need to grow cannabis. I'm not into that. Not into that at all. I'm just, doing my best to keep up. I've got pretty much everything ready for my small little office space to go. I've got the work computer ready to go, so I'm ready to start working once it's time to start working. So they've got all the equipment from them. Nate, I do not have regular access to town. It's about the same distance as I was before. About a 20-minute hitchhike, but I've got people here who can take me into town. I'm in between two towns, a small town and a smaller town. One's got 5,000 people, one's got 30,000 people. So not really. I think there's a library there. I haven't really checked it out much. Since I've been here, I've gone to town twice. Once to Iroquois Falls, once to the Falls, and once to Cochrane. And yeah. But as it is right now, where I'm set up as I'm like 10 feet away from my actual land. What am I saying? I'm in front of it. I'm looking at it right now. Even though I haven't even seen the ground of this place yet. Like, all I've seen is a sea of snow. Last night I got to hear the wolf. So we really do have a wolf living around here. I don't know where exactly, but I've seen his footprints all around my neighbor's property. He hangs out there, and I know it's not a coyote because coyotes' tracks aren't like that big. So there is a wolf around here, and it's a small family of. Can't really call moose a small family. Moose are gigantic creatures, but we got moose living in the back end of the property here. But it's real peaceful. Stir-fried rice. I can make stir-fried rice, but that's one thing I leave up to the professionals. I'm horrible with it. Every time I've tried to make it, I either over-season it, or I'm at fried rice as an art, and that's something I'm not that good at. I wish I was. I can make one heck of a paella, but that's more of a season and let it cook kind of dish. I've done a bit of research on wind generators. Some people say they're good, and other people say they don't actually output the kind of power that they claim. It is very windy here at all hours of the day. I thought someone was outside of the trailer trying to wake me up yesterday. Shake. And that was the and that's because it's very windy. And yeah, no, there's a couple other good things. Me and my neighbor, he's planning on taking me to a trip to the lot because there's a spring right behind a freshwater spring that if I can divert water to it into my main area of my property, one, that's fresh water for me, and we're so far north that's going to be some clear, beautiful water, but also won't have to worry about watering the crops once I get them in. Is that better? I'll try to figure something out. Yeah, the wind is getting to me too. Ooh, jeepers, it's cold. hanging out outside because I can. I've actually been out here most of the day. Oh, it's worse here because it's coming from it's a western wind. So yeah, that's yeah, it's a western. The wind is coming from like northwest, so it's coming from this way, and it's hitting these plains and fields. It's coming from above the trees, so it's pretty brutal. Like there, if you take a look in this direction, this snow here, the majority of that, a good foot and a half of that, this top part here, is from last night. But if you look at the back, the wind is making snow drifts, and like it's starting to bury that guy's place. Look at these eyes. I don't have those big dark circles under my eyes anymore. I'm not waking up when I'm trying to sleep every 2 hours. I don't have a raccoon sitting on my chest anymore. But I'm happy. And not only that is I get to communicate with people. Like I've met my neighbors over there. We've been talking regularly. Really nice guy, Benny, and his wife. There's a couple other people up the hill I've met. My direct neighbor over there, I've met him. We've been hanging out a bit, just talking for a couple hours here and there. And again, him and I have been outside for... Oh, I got out here at about 11. And he was just starting up a snowplow, his snowblower. And yeah, him and I went up and down here for like 4 hours, just making sure our little patch of road is done. And yeah, I've been outside all day. I really enjoy it. It's not that it's cold. There's sun out. Oh no, man, that raccoon, he's done. It's kind of surreal though. I know the sounds of raccoons. I can tell when they're around walking. I know their footprints. I've seen no raccoon footprints around at all. I've traded raccoons in for a wolf. I've seen the wolf's footprints all over. I haven't spotted him yet. And I've stayed out here quite late at night looking for him. And early in the morning. I'm pretty good at looking for movement, but I haven't seen him. I really want to see that wolf. There's so few wolves left in northern Ontario. It's almost like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Oh, I have my neighbor. He's got his wood-burning stove going, and he's boiling birch sap. There are sugar maples around, but they're so deep in. But he's been tapping birch tree for birch sap, and I can smell him cooking it on the stove. Like it's so peaceful. What I'm really having a hard time getting over is just how quiet and peaceful it is. I feel this like deep connection to the woods now, something like I didn't before. There's always sounds in the woods. Even up here, there are sounds, but they're different sounds. It's the wind, the branches, even the animals. Again, I've been listening to crows, the snow being blown across itself, that sound. The one thing I don't hear anymore is cars. I don't hear any cars or sirens, and it's so different. It's such a relief. No, actually, most of my neighbor over there, he used to be a farmer. The two to my over there, they're from Quebec. They're not native. Um, but I haven't met a single person up here I don't like. Even the gentleman, the owner of the place, who I was very frustrated at on the first day and the second day and the third day. Oh, and I was really frustrated at him on the third day. I made my peace with him, and he's a good guy. I understand now his limitations, so he is a good person. Yes, Cornish, exactly. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, but I've got a lot of videos I'm working on. What the heck is that? Oh, and the train is going by. I've got a few videos I'm working on that I'm going to be posting soon. Hopefully, I'm going to be posting some day-to-day stuff while I work on the bigger videos to get sent out. But that's the time of night for me now. It's 5:30. I think I'm gonna go in and cook myself some. I'm gonna make some bannock. It's bread. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna make hash browns again and eggs. Hash brown and eggs for dinner again. I really want that. I like eggs. Oh, they're so good too. That's exact. He's not reliable, but he is still a very good person, and I'm thankful for him because I've got land and a home. Because if the program didn't exist, you know, never ever rinse. Oh yeah, I've been having no problem staying warm at all. Um, I use the heat for maybe 30 minutes before I go to bed, blast it all the way to the highest setting, let the inside just get nice and warm, turn it off. That'll stay warm for a good 6 to 8 hours. And the second told you it was a train. The second the sun hits it from that away, the second the sun gets over the trees, it's nice and warm on the inside. I don't even need to use it during the daytime. It's just the nighttime when it is dark and windy out. That's when it has to be used. No, Skip Manasty. Do not rinse them. What you do is you grate your potatoes. I use a cheese grater. No, don't rinse them. You want the potato starch, man. Do not rinse your hash browns. That's the worst thing you can do. Grate them with a cheese grater. Take that, squeeze all the extra water you can get out of it. Put those bits in a bowl. Add about a spoonful of flour into it. Maybe less if you're only using one potato. Judge accordingly. You don't need much flour. Put some flour in it. Mix it up. Form it into patties and make sure if it's sticking into a patty, that's perfect. And then fry it on low and slow. They are perfectly crispy. And the inside is perfectly cooked. And it's perfectly potato-y. guys, I'm gonna have to let y'all go now. I'm starting to get cold, and I need to start charging everything. Get the Jenny going, and start cooking dinner. I love everybody here. You all take care of yourselves. Be safe. Stay warm. I'm gonna be staying warm. Bye now.